Hey, thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to go over how I do slappy grinds on curbs. I'm going to talk about frontside slappies and backside slappies. The first thing to talk about is finding a suitable curb. It doesn't have to be a perfect double-sided curb like this one. It just has to be a decent curb. I put a lot of work into this one. I rub-bricked it, clear-coated it, and it's seen a ton of wax. But that's not important. What's important is finding a curb that's a decent height and slope. The curb is a little bit more than half the width of my board. So if this is just rounding up, it's about 9 inches wide. This curb's no more than 5 inches tall. If you look at this curb, it's not totally straight up like a ledge. There's a little bit of a slope. The other thing to consider is if the curb is going to grind. Now again, this one has clear coat and wax, so it's very smooth and grinds very well. But any painted curb will do. I would suggest going to a grocery store or a public park or a schoolyard and look for a nice red painted curb, and those will just need a little bit of wax on top of the paint. It's not going to be the best, longest grind, but it's going to be really good to start off because you're not going to want to go too fast in the beginning anyways. Today I'm skating my curb setup, which is it's basically 9 inches wide with, it does have rails, it has wider chucks, these are 8.5 inches wide, but you can do a slappy grind on any skateboard, and I'll show that later on in the video. But this is my choice today. So let's talk about how you do a slappy grind. The number one thing to remember when doing a slappy grind on a curb is that the front truck hits first. The front truck has to make contact with the curb first, otherwise it's not going to be a proper slappy grind. So if I was doing a backside slappy, it would look something like this. Frontside slappy would look something like this. Front truck hits, weight's on the front, starts grinding, back truck gets on, shift your weight to the back, pop off. Let's talk about foot placement. So for frontside and backside, you're going to want to have your feet over the bolts, right over the trucks. My back foot is covering the back bolts, and my toes are hanging off the board, and they're kind of right in the pocket. My front foot is also over the truck, covering the bolts, and my toes are hanging off. So for backside, this is the position. I'm going to want to be able to lean on my toes to shift my weight onto the toe side of the board to get my weight off the heel side. My foot placement for frontside slappy is pretty much the same, except I think I might have my heels off the board a little bit more so I can lean on the heel side to get the toe side wheels up in the air. On a backside slappy, let's pretend my hands are my feet. I got my feet over the bolts, back foot's in the pocket, front foot is also a little bit in the pocket with toes hanging off. I'm going to approach the curb, I'm going to be leaning over my toes, and that's going to lift the heel side of the board up in the air. What that does is it creates space for the wheels to get up on the curb. You're going to put a lot of weight on your toes, and it allows the front truck to get up. So this is what we're doing when we're slapping. And then you're going to put a lot of weight on your front truck, and it allows the board to climb up and get the back truck up. Once you're on, it's just a matter of holding on, shifting your weight back to your back truck, and coming off. On frontside slappies, it's the same technique, but the weight is reversed. You're going to have your feet in the same foot position, just slightly more heel side. You're going to approach the curb, put all your weight on your heel side of the board. That's going to force the toe side wheels to come up. You're going to slam into the curb, put your weight on the front truck, and it's going to pull the board up onto the obstacle. And then again, once you're on there, you just grind for however long as you want. Shift your weight back to your back truck, pop off. The most common mistake I see people making when learning this trick is they go super fast, they go at a really harsh angle, and they lift their front trucks up and they just try to bash in the curb to get their back truck on first. And that might work in some instances where you can kind of do this thing, but you're going to be way less consistent and it's just not going to work as well. So remember, it's front truck first, then back truck. I said before that you can do a slappy on any skateboard. So to show that, I'll do a few slappies on this one, this one, this one, and that one. Curb setup. Street setup. Mini setup. Cruiser setup. Once you're comfortable doing frontside and backside slappy grinds, you can try a few other variations. You can do frontside slappy 180. You can do backside slappy, backside 180. You can do slappy grind, front shove. Slappy grind, back shove. You can do nollie 180s. You can do combos. You can do 50-50 to board side. You can do 50-50 to lip slide. It just really opens up a whole nother book of tricks. What I really love about slappies and curb skating in general is that it's very accessible. Almost everyone has access to a curb. You may not have the perfect curb nearby, but chances are you have a decent and manageable curb. Another thing I love about curb skating is it's kind of like the punk rock version of skateboarding. It's kind of stripped down in its approach. It's basic, it's simple, but it can be aggressive and it can be very fun. And when you strip things away, you're forced to be more creative. So by not alling in your grinds, it limits some tricks that you can do, but it forces you to be more creative and doing more tricks. You can be out of shape, you can be old, you can be young. You don't have to be the best skater. You just kind of put your work in, figure out this technique, and you can have a lot of fun with just a few feet of flat ground and a decent curb. You don't need a huge skate park or the best spot. You don't have to drive super far. You just got to find a curb near you and slap it. One thing I forgot to mention is that you're going to want to loosen your trucks a bit. They don't have to be super wobbly, but they got to be able to surf into the curb. I hope this video was helpful. Now go skate and have fun.